one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2 3. 1 2 3. Finish.
Hey, beef with me, I shoot the block, don't die, we spin again. See a 10 and shoot my shot like bitch, I'm tryna win. Shoot to the stove for the drink, you and all your friends. Taking shots after shots, I'm tryna get it in. Yo, beef with me, I shoot the block, don't die, we spin again. See a 10 and shoot my shot like bitch, I'm tryna win. Shoot to the stove for the drink, you and all your friends. Taking shots after shots, I'm trying to get it in. Back in the day, I wasn't getting them hoes, they was ignoring the play. Even if I was headed to their destination, they wasn't going my way. Shooting my shot, they wasn't going for that. I promise they going today. I put that dick on them, fuck them and lick on them now, so they just don't know what to say. I swear the mama a freak, bend ass over and beat cheeks. I don't know everything, but if that hoe go to testing me, I got a cheat sheet. Stay going hard, no weak me. Bust on the face, ski. We taking shots, then we repeat. She say it's on with Patron. I know that goose get her loose. I tell her come in and take off her shoes, and then I go knock in the boots. Me and you in the coupe, tryna slide what it do. All of my screws are tight than a bitch, but hers I'm knocking them loose. I'm so faded and fucked up, I can't stand on my feet. Still me and you in the jacuzzi, what I wanna see. Leave the crib at 4 a.m. and don't come home to 3. Don't fuck with no wannabes. Trip on me and you gon' see. You beef with me, I shoot the block, don't die, we spin again. See a 10 and shoot my shot like bitch, I'm tryna win. Shoot to
Yo, listen to me. Stop playing with me. Listen to me for a quick second, yo. How the fuck you doing today? How dope was the day, man? Yo, I'm interested to know, bro. Dead ass, yo, hey. I appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel. I appreciate everybody who checks out the video, checks out the shows. I appreciate everybody who spreads it, who shares it. I truly do appreciate that. I truly do. I'm trying to build something over here, and I can't do it without y'all. All right? I can't. Me needing y'all is completely different than these bozos on Twitter who think athletes need them. Like, Jesus Christ. Chicago fans not too happy with Justin Fields right now. We got a lot of things to talk about. So, where do we start? Well, first we start off by let me first start off by saying the video for the breakdown of the Sunday games, this week's games, that'll come out tomorrow. First, though, we have to talk about the 2 Monday night games, don't we? Now, I don't like that they had 2 Monday night games. One of them, like the second game started basically at halftime of the first one. I would have liked to see both. The thing that happened tonight, though, was 2 teams got blasted, so it really didn't matter. It wasn't like we had 2 juggernaut teams going at it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. So we didn't really miss out on much. Not going to talk too much about the Bills game. Josh Allen, yo. Once again, great game by Josh Allen. They blasted the Tennessee Titans. I hear a lot of people saying Derrick Henry might be washed. Listen, this could be Derrick Henry entering the final year of his insane run that he was on. I'm not going to call it yet, but, it's a possibility that could be it. Tannehill is definitely entering the last year of him being a starter for this team, I believe. I mean, I wouldn't even be shocked if Tannehill was benched at the halfway mark of the season. But Josh Allen, him and Stephon Diggs, I see why everybody got those dudes going to the Super Bowl. They look great. The defense for the Bills look great. The pass rush, the secondary, the linebacking core, all 3 levels of the defense look great. The special teams look great. They don't run the ball great, but they run it good enough to be able to do what they do through the air. And when you have Gabe Davis didn't even play, they had another dude playing tonight. He did great. Like, Josh Allen, to me, is at that point now. And it's like I say, it's like I've said multiple times. To me, the best 3 young quarterbacks in football right now is Allen. Well, in order is Mahomes, Allen, Lamar. Not necessarily in order in the back end, because it's really hard for me. I guess I can give Josh the nod right now. But Lamar balling too. I just don't think he even got the weaponry that. Either way, I'm not doing that. That's not what we're here to do. I think those are the 3 best young quarterbacks in the NFL, just based off of what I've seen from them the last couple years. And so, seeing Josh Allen go out there and do this on a weekly basis is really not surprising to me. Like, I expect Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Pat Mahomes to go out there and play great football, good football that's good enough for them to win a game on a weekly basis. Like, I don't expect the defenses to do what they did in that game this week for Baltimore, or the defense to do what it did in that playoff game for Pat Mahomes. But they two going against each other, so that's understandable. I don't expect Baltimore's funky-ass defense to let Tua turn into Tua Manning. But that's a conversation for tomorrow. I'm probably going to do a video on that in itself. But because I expect so much out of Allen, Lamar, and Pat, games like this don't really shock me by Josh Allen. I'm not saying they don't impress me, because they definitely are impressive. But they not really. I knew this was about to happen. I saw how clean the game was for Josh. The game didn't get dirty. The pass rush couldn't do enough to get the game off balance for him. And when you allow Josh Allen, much like if Peyton Manning was allowed to just stand around and make every throw he wanted without too much pressure, Josh Allen gonna carve you up, especially when you have Josh Allen's connection with Stephon Diggs is like, Brady's connection with Gronk, Peyton Manning's connection with Marvin Harrison or Reggie Wayne, Joe Flacco's connection with Pitta. Any quarterback and their favorite target, Lamar with Mark Andrews. But to a higher extent, because when it's a receiver, it's even better. When you can have a quarterback who can. Stephon Diggs don't do anything. Like, he does everything great. He run routes great. He got great speed. He great at breakaway speed. He great at like at the end of his route, getting that separation at the end of the route. Like, it's really nothing he can't do. He can be physical when you need him to be. He can block when you need him to block. Like, it's really nothing that Stephon Diggs can't do. And the best thing about Stephon Diggs is, on top of everything that he can do, he win his one-on-ones more than not. Like, he win his one-on-ones more times than not. And when you have a receiver who do everything great and he can win his one-on-ones, meaning he is a constant target. Like, he get open like tight ends get open in those. Like, the way Josh Allen can get Stephon Diggs the ball anywhere on the field is impressive to me, because you look at some of these offenses where every offense basically throwing short routes all game, and you see how they jacking up quarterbacks' completion percentages and they statistics because they throw so many short passes. Think about the consistency of which quarterbacks have been able to hit these little dink and dunks. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs hit passes with each other on the same consistency, and they ain't dinking and dunking. Like, they are just hitting you from all parts of the field. They might go for 20 on this catch, 7 on this one, 15 on that one. It's just so crazy how easy they make the game look right now. So I really do understand people saying, like, oh, this is the Super Bowl favorites. Like, because, they looking like the Super Bowl. They have done nothing to make me not believe they are the Super Bowl favorites, because Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs is killing it. I hope they're not peaking too early, because I actually do believe in that now. Over the last couple years, I done started believing in this actually is a such thing as peaking too early. I hope that's not what the Bills is doing, because I also believe you can be one of them teams that's just dominant from start to finish. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Buffalo dominate from start to finish if they ended up winning the Super Bowl and that was the case, but Buffalo look like a tough team to beat right now. They got a big matchup coming up next week against the Miami Dolphins. That's going to be a very interesting matchup now that Tua did what he did. Before I get into it, because I didn't expect to talk too much, this is basically, we about to have a new segment, a new show basically called the Midnight Mania. I hope it's not another name out there with that. I'm probably going to tweak that name a little bit. On Monday nights, though, basically going to be like Overreaction Monday, except for because I know it's going to be at 12 o'clock at night when I start that recording and bleeding into basically Tuesday. I'm going to just call it Midnight Mania or Midnight something. And so I am actually going to talk about Tua a little bit, but I might as well go ahead and skip to Tua. Nah, I can wait. But it'll be an interesting matchup next week against the Bills and the Dolphins, because Josh Allen and Stephon, as much as I love Lamar Jackson and what he do, he don't have a Stephon Diggs. I mean, it's just, he don't have a Stephon Diggs. And if he had a Stephon Diggs, boy, even yesterday's game with him giving us 38, probably could have gave us 48 if he had a Stephon Diggs. But that's going to be a very interesting matchup next week between the Miami Dolphins and I don't even know who got the home game between those two yet. I hope that's the Sunday night football game, but I know it's not going to be, because they just don't book these things right sometimes. But the other football game that we had tonight, boy, Philadelphia took on the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Kirk Cousins had a rough one tonight. He had 3 interceptions. But I'm not really going to kill Kirk for those 3 interceptions, believe it or not. I'm not going to kill Kirk for those 3 interceptions. Do I want my quarterback to go out there and toss up 3 interceptions? No, I do not. I don't want that. But I'm not going to kill him for that. And this is why I'm not going to kill him for that. I know it's week 2 of the NFL season. Darius Slay Jr. might have had one of the best at this point in the season when I'm looking at every cornerback game. And I haven't seen every single game a cornerbacks had this year. But I've seen a lot of the games that cornerbacks have had this year. Darius Slay Jr. might right now have had the best performance by a cornerback on the year so far. Tonight was insane. Darius Slay was everywhere. Forget the fact that he playing against a dude that's, 6 years younger than him at this point. Darius Slay probably should have walked away with 6-7 interceptions tonight. He had to settle for 2. He was everywhere. Kirk Cousins could do nothing with this dude in coverage. And and maybe I should give Kirk Cousins more blame, but the reason that I really didn't care for Kirk Cousins to really think too hard about the Kirk Cousins thing is because this is what I kept thinking about the entire time. Watching Darius Slay Jr. do what he did tonight, and watch what he's been able to do since he got to Philadelphia, and what he's been able to do his entire career, but especially these last 2 years, it's just further proof that Matt Patricia should not be hired as a head coach in this league again. Because Matt Patricia was disrespectful to his players from all accounts, but specifically to Darius Slay Jr. And then his disrespect led him to trading Darius Slay Jr. away for basically nothing. And when you allow coaches to have this type of power and ruin your franchise when they make these type of dickhead decisions, just like Bill O'Brien did in Houston, and it's no real legitimate payoff for trading players of that type of caliber, and the only reason they're being traded because of the head coach's relationship or disdain for that said player, that's ridiculous. People love to keep, these dudes in the NFL love to say, oh, it's a business, it's a business, it's a business. But boy, they make a lot of bad business decisions, man. It's really crazy how many bad business decisions these dudes make off of just emotions and shit like that. Because Darius Slay Jr. should still be a Detroit Lion unless he left in free agency. He should not have been traded. And so the fact that I'm looking at him do what he is doing with the Eagles right now, because Darius Slay Jr. is a top 3 cornerback in the NFL right now. It's not even a question in my mind. I don't know how the Detroit Lions could be satisfied or cool with letting that walk away. He just put fucking Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I know how I feel about Justin Jefferson. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't listen to me. This might be your first time listening to me. I don't think Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the NFL. I think that's Devontae Adams. His body of work over the last couple of years has given him that title. I'm not going to disrespect the man. But if I had to do a draft on receivers and take a receiver first, the first receiver in the draft I would take is Justin Jefferson. Of receivers right now, where they are right now in their career, I would take Justin Jefferson because I believe he is about to become the best receiver in the league. I also think the disadvantage for Justin Jefferson was that the disadvantage for everybody for every receiver was that Devontae played with Aaron Rodgers. No other top receiver is playing with a top 2, top 3 quarterback. You could say Tyreek Hill. Well, yep, I take that back because Tyreek Hill to me was a top. Was Tyreek Hill a top? Tyreek Hill got to be a top 5 receiver, especially after it. I have a high level of respect for Tyreek Hill. I know a lot of people don't. If you listen to me on the show, you also, if you've listened to me in the past, or if you haven't listened to me in the past, I have a high level of respect for Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is a stud. I done seen this dude go up in high point footballs over dudes. I done seen him run routes on the outside like outside receivers. I done seen him move into the slot and be great. Like Tyreek Hill is a very rare athlete in the sense that you don't think he should be doing the shit he should be doing because of his height. But his speed, his athleticism, his football intelligence, and all those different type of things make Tyreek Hill one of the best receivers in the NFL. And one of the best receivers I done seen in my lifetime as far as like, bro, this dude can go up and get a football like a tall receiver. I'm not saying he do it as consistent as a Julio or nothing like that. And like when Julio was in his prime, but I mean, who the fuck was doing what Julio was doing in his prime? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck was doing that type shit? But when you go look at Tyreek Hill, and I know people will be like, oh, he had Pat Mahomes. I mean, the motherfucker had Tua. Now, I like Tua, but he ain't Pat Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. So, Tyreek Hill to me is a top 5 receiver. Let me run down my top receivers real fast. Devontae, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. Actually, nah, Tyreek Hill then Cooper Kupp. I can't take Cooper Kupp over none of them receivers. I don't know, oh man, because he white. Yeah, it's because he white. But Cooper Kupp, I don't think Coop, as much as I love Coop, I don't think Coop can do what these other dudes can do. As much as and Coop is a stud, bro. I just think these other dudes that I named above him is something that, bro, they are just on a different level. They are on a different level, in my opinion. But getting into this Eagles-Bills game, one of the things that I like about, we did enough praising of Darius Slay Jr. One of the things I've said last year when I was talking about the Philadelphia Eagles was I like Nick Sirianni. And I think, and I love Jalen Hurts. Like, I was a fan of his at Bama. I agree that Tua should have taken that job from him because he was not progressing the way he should have progressed, but I don't put that on Jalen Hurts. I put that on Alabama. Jalen Hurts, though, I thought, because I saw, okay, so it's kind of funny how this happened. I had no faith in Lamar Jackson when he first came into the NFL. Now, I'm the biggest Lamar Jackson fan in the world now, so you would never believe this unless you watch the show because I done said this multiple times, but I wasn't a believer in Lamar Jackson when he first came into the NFL. I didn't openly root against him and no stupid shit like that. But I didn't think that he would be a franchise quarterback for us. After his first year, like I wasn't even sold when he got thrown into the fire. His first full year in the league, when he started off the season against Miami the way he did, I was instantly sold on him because I said he could not have done that last year. That shows me that this dude was working out in the offseason. Like, that tells me that this dude is serious about being great. Like, he went in the offseason and honed in on his craft. And he continued to be great every offseason. So, Lamar Jackson was what flipped my mindset in the sense of athletic running quarterbacks. Oh, and for me, it wasn't African-American or black quarterbacks because I'm black. So, it wasn't never about, I don't care about a fucking running quarterback. I didn't think Lamar Jackson could be accurate enough and throw the ball good enough. But I also admit I did not watch him enough in college. But they never was showing him throwing the ball in the highlights that they would show of him. They always showed his running highlights, which don't think that was on accident. But when I finally got to sit down and watch Lamar, my entire perspective changed. And now if you listen to me, you know how I feel about Lamar. Now I go to bat for Lamar all the time. You know what I'm saying? But because I saw how Baltimore coached up Lamar in the first, his first full season, and I saw how they switched up the game plans and basically did different things to try to win with Lamar. And not even that. It wasn't the second year, actually. It was that first year where he was thrown into the fire. I watched how Greg Roman did kind of switch up his game plan that first year, and I watched some of the things they did in the MVP season. I was like, okay, I like how they took advantage of the fact where he might not be the greatest thrower from the pocket right now, but they are great at it. But their game plan is built around all the things he does do great. Now, I think Baltimore got caught up in not evolving the game plan because Lamar got better and the game plan didn't. But I looked at that and I thought to myself, Jalen Hurts can be great. Because I'm looking at Jalen Hurts and I think to myself, while he ain't the greatest thrower from the pocket, it's not because he can't throw. It's because he hasn't been taught. either he don't trust his himself enough, he don't trust his reads, he don't trust his line, he don't trust his skill set enough to sit down in the pocket, go through a couple reads, and then take off. I thought he was way too eager to take off in the pocket. I did not think he played the quarterback position at a pro style level good enough to be able to be great. But that was for like a couple seconds, because the Lamar Jackson thing is what killed those thoughts for me. Because I was like, what does Jalen Hurts do great? And if he does anything great, can you build around it? Well, Lamar Jackson showed me that you don't have to be the greatest thrower, but if you can run to a certain, if you can be a great athlete and be a great quarterback, or good enough quarterback till you become great enough at the quarterback position, then you can win. You can win with that guy, especially because you can't judge heart. You can't judge the work ethic and how hard and how bad somebody wanted, which is why Lamar is who he is. Well, I knew Jalen Hurts wanted it. I saw what he had to go through in college. I saw him lose his position and go out there and grind out up at Oklahoma and all them different things. So in my mind, I instantly said, if Sirianni change up the offense and change up everything they wanted to do, and just come in one day and say, let's do what Jalen Hurts does great, and then let's be great at it. What do Jalen Hurts do great? Well, right now, Jalen Hurts is a great runner of the football. So let's build an offense around running the football. It don't just have to be him running it. We can get running backs who are great. We can have a whole bunch of different type of handoffs and wild type of play. What I never wanted them to do was turn into what Arizona is, which is backyard football central. Just trickery and all that nonsense. I wanted them to actually build with Jalen Hurts, actually do things that would develop him and get him to the point where you wanted to get to. Don't do a bunch of goofiness. They started to build on things. Now it accelerated because you go out and you make great draft picks in the draft when you get Devontae Adams. I mean, not Devontae Adams, but Devontae Smith. You have Dallas Goedert there. You go out and trade for A.J. Brown. All these different, mind you, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith had a phenomenal night tonight. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert is one of the top. That's like a top 10, top 5 receiving core in football right now, or receiving group. Like, in my opinion, if Jalen Hurts can go out there and do what he did tonight, I don't care about the one interception he had. If you saw the game, that was a garbage time interception that was tipped. Jalen Hurts giving you 3. See, some people look at the stats and they'll either look at the yards. People like to watch games through the stats, and I could care less about that. The reason I'm finna bring up the stat is because of the thing that I made very clear about how you win with Jalen Hurts. People talk about, oh, he can't throw consistently. I don't care about him throwing consistently like a Pat Mahomes or a Tom Brady. He'll get to that eventually, but right now, don't tell me you can't win with him because he can't throw like a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, or that's not true. Lamar Jackson went out there and won a unanimous MVP, and he wasn't out there throwing it like a Pat Mahomes and shit like that. So I know you can win and you can be successful and you can have a winning organization and a winning team if you have the right people around Jalen Hurts. Too many times it's coaches who make you buy into their system instead of just building the system around the quarterback that you have. It's a difference if you just feel like that quarterback cannot be successful. That's not Jalen Hurts. And I hate it if you never give a quarterback a chance to be successful. I'm so happy they've given Jalen Hurts a chance and the resources and everything to be successful, because you look at what Cleveland did for Baker Mayfield and how they gave him every opportunity to be successful. He just wasn't that guy. Sometimes other quarterbacks might not get those same type of chances and opportunities to be great. I'm so happy that they didn't look at Jalen Hurts and just think, oh, nah, he's just an athlete. He'll never be able to throw the football. They didn't just look at Lamar and say, oh, yeah, he's just an athlete. He'll never be able to be a good quarterback and throw the ball. Because if you did, you wouldn't get what you have now. This hope, this feeling of a bright future with Jalen Hurts building around him and whatnot. And so I love what I saw from the Eagles tonight. Listen, they went up and they put up 30-plus points last game. I'm not mad that they only was able to put up 24, because you look at Jalen Hurts, 300-plus passing yards, 50-plus rushing yards in this game. That's production. I keep telling you, when you look at everything he do for this offense, I don't care if he go out there and throw for 400 yards. He gave you a 300 burger tonight. I don't care if he come out there and he got 100 yards throwing, but he got like 200 rush. When I gather up all his production and I'm looking at the games and I look at how the impact he had, and Jalen Hurts looked like he done improved. You can clearly see the improvements in his game tonight. He was throwing the ball great from the pocket. He was delivering dimes. He had a great drive to end the half. Jalen Hurts had a phenomenal night. I don't know how PFF is ranking these quarterbacks and shit like that. I just know the best quarterback performances. And I done seen a lot of great performances from the quarterbacks this weekend. Now, I don't want to sound like a hater. It's great because I love Tua. Tua actually did not have one of the best quarterback performances I saw this weekend, in my opinion. I'll tell you why. It's just as far as like compared to like Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen actually had a better performance tonight than Tua had yesterday. Even though Tua's comeback was huge, and I'm not discrediting Tua. I think Jalen Hurts' performance tonight was a bit, I would say that one to me was a bit bigger than Tua's. But I don't want to discredit Tua. I don't think Tua had a better game than Lamar Jackson. And Lamar lost the game, and I thought his play was better than Tua's. The biggest thing with Tua, and I'm not taking nothing away from Tua, but I'm also not somebody who say Tua can't throw. So when I see him hitting passes over the top, much like Shannon said today on his show, if he can't hit that, then he just can't be a quarterback. Every quarter touchdown he throwing to these motherfuckers is wide open. Baltimore's secondary. And I don't want people to think I'm hating on Tua because, like I said, if you just don't believe that I fuck with Tua and you think I'm hating on him because I'm a Baltimore fan or anything like this, go back and look at how I talked about Joe Burrow and them boys last year. I said everything that could have went right for Joe Burrow and his team last year went right. And one of the things that was hard for me to put truly into words or describe it right was a lot of defenses in which Joe Burrow and them played against where they had legendary crazy number days. Those defenses that had those bad games were having their worst games of their franchises, of their season, of the last couple years. Like, those were some of the worst games by those defenses. And it was hard. And so I was like, how many times do a team actually get to play a team where the defense is having a worst day possible every time this team play a team? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, while I think Cincinnati is a good team, I don't think they is as great as people say. I know it's weird to say it, but I think they're getting a lot of breaks in the fact that a lot of the defenses that they playing are having a worse defensive performances. So it's not me hating on Tua or anything like that, I promise you, because Tua still got to go out there and keep competing. And I actually shout out Mike Daniels because Brian Flores probably would have benched Tua at halftime with 2 interceptions and down 21. So shout out to Mike McDaniels for keeping Tua in the game. And shout out to Tua because he still do have to make those throws. I understand dudes is running wide open. And like I said, if he can't make those throws, then yeah, you just can't be a quarterback. But I never had a doubt that Tua couldn't throw the ball. Obviously, Tua is not I think we see a Josh Allen and Lamar and, Pat Mahomes and think, oh, they got to go down the field and throw. You don't. Tom Brady did not make a living throughout the entirety of his career launching down the football field, bro. You don't. Now, I do wish that the offense would become more than just a bunch of dink and dunks from Tua, but I do think that that's what this team is evolving into anyways. Like I said with Jalen Hurts, you do what they do great and build off of that and get them great in the other areas so that they can do more. So I'm not mad at how they run offense with, especially look at the game. Motherfucker Jalen Waddle and Tyreek damn near had 200 yards apiece. And what's up with this fucking Baltimore defense, man? It was a stat that in the last 19 games, I believe, Baltimore's pass defense has been by far the worst in the NFL. And if you done watch this team all last year it ain't no fucking surprise. The 2 leading quarterbacks in the NFL, the top 3 passing yardage quarterback in the NFL right now is Tua Tagovailoa and Joe Flacco is number 3. Both them motherfuckers done played against the Ravens. That's the Ravens' first 2 games this season against those 2 guys. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's taking everything in my soul not to keep coming on here and saying Marlon Humphrey fooling y'all, man. I'm telling you, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I am not happy. And I told my brother when I was over his crib, I was like, yo, I just got this feeling we're going to lose against the Dolphins. I said, I done had this feeling all week. I didn't think it was going to be that. Excuse me. That was embarrassing. That was ugly. And I'm not happy. I am happy, however, about what I'm seeing from the Eagles. Listen, right now the Eagles easily, to me, the Eagles easily look like the best team in that division. I understand Dallas did what they did last night, but it's no shot in hell. I'm banking on Cooper Rush over Jalen Hurts. That's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna get that out of me. That's no. But hey, for the Vikings, rough night. Listen, I was kind of in my, so I like Kurt, but boy, I was talking a lot of shit about Kurt in my head tonight. I ain't gonna lie. I know I said I wasn't tripping on Kurt, throwing the 3 interceptions too much, but in my head, I don't know why I kept saying this, but I kept saying in my head like, damn, this dude ain't seen a clutch throw he'd be willing to make yet. Like, I don't know why that line kept going through my head, bro. Cause I fuck with Kurt, and I done seen Kurt make some, clutch throws before. And anybody can find stats to make it seem like a quarterback clutch, to be honest with you, except for Baker. Except for Baker, bro. Baker midfield is what he is. And I just find it so very fucking interesting that people actually thought Carolina was going to be 2-0 to start the season because, Baker, obviously Baker going to go back, he going to beat the Browns, the team that did him so dirty. You know what I'm saying? All they did was gave him, Kareem, Chubb, Odell, Landry. You know what I'm saying? What's my man's name? The other tight end, Hooper. And Njoku. Now, I'm starting to actually think Njoku might not be it. I might have been wrong on Njoku. But everybody else, we got this man. We got this man, a great offensive-minded head coach who won Coach of the Year, man. But they did Baker dirty. Either way, I was told Baker was supposed to win that game against Cleveland. They just got little old Jacoby Brissett. Of course he gonna beat Daniel Jones. Of course he gonna beat Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, the worst starting quarterback at L. Listen, I done said it too many times. Baker Mayfield is a below average quarterback. You got people who keep wanting to be nice, who keep saying, he's definitely a top 32 quarterback. What does it mean to be a top 32 quarterback in the NFL when only top 10 quarterbacks really matter, top 12 at this point, that we really believe? It's only like 6 quarterbacks who people really believe can get a team to a Super Bowl. So what the fuck does it mean being a top 32 fucking quarterback? In what world do that make any sense? Like, come on. I even hear people saying, like, he definitely one of the top 20 quarterbacks in the NFL. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, bro, Baker Mayfield, let me tell y'all something, man. Carolina is a bad organization. They're a bad organization. They went out there and they got Sam Darnold. They saw that shit, and then they go out the next fucking year. Did they really believe that Baker was bad last year? Because he was hurt. Bro, they haven't been watching this motherfucker his whole career? This is what I'm saying, bro. I don't know what they over there doing in Carolina, but them motherfuckers is stupid. Carolina went out and got Sam Darnold. They let him do that shit he pulled off last year. Everybody talking about in the beginning of the season when they was playing against them bad teams, man, Sam Darnold's great. It was the Jets the whole time. And the whole time I'm telling people and I'm tweeting and I'm saying on my shows last year, man, Sam Darnold is not good, bro. The Panthers is playing against teams that's worse than they are. Coincidentally, Carolina ended up being worse than them fucking teams that they beat early on. Do they learn their lesson? No. They go out and bring in fucking Baker Mayfield. They make all these excuses in their head as to why this is going to work out. I'm listening to all these so-called professional sport analysts talk on TV about how Baker Mayfield was done dirty by Cleveland, how he going to get a new chance, and how he going to... Motherfuckers thought he was... I done heard multiple analysts think that Carolina was a dark horse to make this fucking wild card or playoffs this year, bruh. And now look at y'all. That's what I'm saying. You got people paid to get on TV and talk to y'all about this type shit, man. And they telling y'all that Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback, that he had average, that Cleveland did this, man. In what world do you get at your disposal what Baker had and that's considered being done dirty? The Patriots did fucking Tom Brady dirty his last year. You saw what that motherfucker had to go out there and throw it to? Don't miss me with that, oh, Baker Mayfield. No, Baker Mayfield's garbage, bro. And I don't even want to talk like that. He is a below average quarterback. It is what it is. The only reason you still got people capping for him is because he was the first pick in the draft. He was white. And he looked like the same white analysts who make all these excuses for him. I done seen, listen, the same analysts who will cap for Baker out here call Lamar trash. So, you know. In a white man's world, you just got to understand there's going to be goofiness like that going around. But I'm not here for the goofiness. I'm here to tell you right now. It's like I told my Carolina homies. If y'all really think Baker finna get y'all motherfuckers to a playoffs, it's going to be a rough season. I done watched this motherfucker play since the moment he touched foot in the NFL. Baker Mayfield's not that guy. He's just a guy. Just another guy. Like Shannon done told him, or said multiple times. That's what Baker Mayfield is. The faster y'all accept that, the better it'll be. Because this is ridiculous at this point. Jameis Winston, I just want y'all to know I still love my guy Jameis Winston, man. I don't care that he had 3 turnovers. It was a bad game for the Saints yesterday. I mean, Mark Ingram turned the ball over. He fumbled the ball on a big drive they was having. You got receiver Olave catches a pass, and then he end up fumbling it when he popped the ground. Listen, it was an ugly game all the way around for the, I was going to say the Patriots, for the Saints. That's okay. I had a lot of picks wrong yesterday, too, now that I'm thinking about it. And I knew I had a lot of picks wrong because halfway through the game, I'm thinking to myself, this might be one of my worst days at, game picking. Not happy about it. Really not. But it was just, a rough game for the Saints. And it was a divisional game. Listen, that's okay. That's okay. These still going to be 2 good teams. I still have nothing but the utmost confidence in my guy, Jameis Winston. This does not deter me from Jameis at all. Not at all. I think that the offensive play calling is not good in New Orleans still. Even with Sean Payton gone, I think they still basically running the Sean Payton system. I actually think that Dennis Allen should go out and bring in a actual legitimate... See, the hard part about bringing in a great offensive coordinator is that if he really is as great as you want him to be, he'll probably be a head coach within the next 2 to 3 years. But I just think that those are the type of chances you got to take when you have a team like the Saints. The Saints is stacked. You have too far a good of a team to not take that type of chance, in my opinion. I just don't like the basic type of... I will never say it's Jameis unless it actually become the fact that it is Jameis. But I just think the offensive play calling is not too great. I think they do too much of trying to make sure Jameis don't go crazy with the turnovers. Bro, just let that man ball and see what you got, bro. If your team believe... One thing I will say, I don't like how Devin White after the game said that we had Jameis that year and he had 30 turnovers and we knew this and that. Like, come on, bro. Why? Like, I don't know if Jameis rubbed him the wrong way in the locker room or something like that. I don't know. But you a Super Bowl champion, bro. Why is you... Like, come on, bro. Imagine what your career would be right now if you didn't have Brady at the helm. Like, come on, man. I don't understand why dudes feel the need to disrespect each other. Just like, shit. This week on disrespect gone wrong. Like, fucking Jamar Chase. Y'all know I like Jamar Chase, how I talk about Jamar Chase. What was the fucking purpose of calling out Trayvon Diggs and basically disrespecting him when you was talking about him to the reporters about how you don't think he great technically wise and all this other type of shit? Like, bro, if you don't think Diggs is good, if you want to, because I really just think dudes is buying into that clout on these average motherfuckers on Twitter who like to go at Diggs, who could never do what this dude do. But then when you want to indulge in it, bro, and Diggs go out there and hold you to 2 receptions, like, come on, my guy, shut up forever. Shout out to Diggs for that performance. But you know what else we got? Before we go, we got to talk about Mike Evans. That's Tom Brady, bro. What do you want me to do? That's Tom Brady. What do you want me to do? It's Tom Brady. Mike Evans, I agree with you 100%. Mike Evans a rider. When it was Jameis Winston. Now, I would look at Mike Evans and say, well, what the fuck was it when it was Jameis Winston? That's my quarterback. That's what he got to say after that. Well, shit, it's my quarterback. What you want me to do? Marcus Latimer definitely was an influencer. I'm not saying Marcus Latimer incited this, but him being involved in this, like him being the one that I guess the attention was on, definitely make it for because listen, 2 things can be true. Mike Evans definitely stand up for his quarterbacks, but Mike Evans definitely don't fuck with Marcus Latimer either. I'm pretty sure them 2 dudes ain't, sitting down for lunch and no shit like that no time soon, bro. I usually be thinking that this shit is just, I usually don't think dudes have a true hate for each other. I be knowing it's just competitiveness. I'm pretty certain, like, I know dudes really don't like Patrick Beverly. Like, dudes actually talk like they don't like Patrick Beverly. I know these 2 dudes cannot like each other, bro. But that, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint, even though this one was the Midnight Madness. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. These Monday night games were straight. They wasn't as good as the one we saw last week, but I enjoyed seeing Jalen Hurts do what he did. Oh, real quick before we go. I'll touch on 2 in the next episode. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Give Ma Dukes a kiss on the forehead. Hug her up for me. Tell her you love her. Give Pops that Pops up. Hug him. Tell him he doing a great job. Saint, hey, you only get one parent. So love them up, because if they done everything they can to, try to better your life, to be a great influence in your life, they might not always been able to give you everything that you wanted or that they wanted to give you. And I promise you, if it was times where your parents couldn't give you something that you wanted, but they wanted to give it to you, but they just couldn't, I promise you it hurt them more knowing that they could not. I promise you they slept on that every night knowing that they couldn't get you what they wanted to get you. So hey, just shake that off. Know that they tried. Alright? Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Go out there and try to make somebody's day doper, man. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.